Good morning. Welcome to our webinar on AI and talent management in SAP SuccessFactors. I'm Howard Scannell and I'm VP for Zalaris Consulting in UK and Ireland. I've 30 years of experience of working with SAP technologies. At Zalaris, we've been implementing SuccessFactors since 2014 and have deployed more than 150 solutions. This morning, we're going to take a closer look at the next-gen AI capabilities shaping the future of talent management in SAP SuccessFactors. I have with me today Franka Feiler from SAP. Franka, can you give us a little bit of background on your experience, please?
Thank you so much, Howard, and thank you so much for having me this morning. I've been working with SAP SuccessFactors for the last 4 years, and really for the last 2 years, focusing on all the new topics like AI. I think that has really shaken up our industry and moving our way forward, it's going to continue shaking it up. So a lot of movement in the AI space, working also a lot together with Zalaris, hosting different webinars and customer success days, looking at AI and how we can innovate our customers' AI journey forward.
Brilliant. How do you help customers benefit from AI?
Well, if we already have a look at it, and we have the advantage at SAP SuccessFactors that we have our internal researchers who are industrial organizational researchers looking at the trends each year and what is really moving our customers. So this year, we're seeing the trend that we are moving from the AI hype to really what is the impact of it. So what's happening now? AI is moving from pilots to enterprise-wide rollouts, and companies are no longer just testing small use cases, but they're exploring bigger, multifaceted applications like agentic AI, for example. So the focus is now on really proving what is the real business value and ROI, and not just the hype behind it. If we look at then what's next coming with that is that organization will need to get really crystal clear on their AI value drivers, whether that's efficiency, better employee experience, or smarter decision making. Success will only really come from aligning these AI use cases with companies' strategy, measuring the real impact, and then also balancing people outcomes with profit. And kind of what we do say hand in hand with that and kind of give our customers as a little bit of a call to action with this is that the time for speculation is over now. We need to measure the AI's real impact and also just get started with it. And if we think about it overall, it's not just about cost saving, but also looking at what are the innovation and the employee experience that you are delivering with these AI use cases. And what we have to understand here is that HR is critical here, because HR is understanding how people outcomes drive real business results, and they must shape how AI is adopted and evaluated. I would like to add a quick stat to drop in here for the impact. Our early research has really shown that AI is already reducing time for tasks and specifically for HR tasks. So by 59% in self-service, 66% for job descriptions, and 71% for interview questions. If we now look at why do employees really want to use AI at work, we've come across 10 different reasons, but we've ranked them now, and I'm giving you here now the top 5 reasons of the most desired outcomes employees are facing when using AI at work. So first is really to increase the amount of work you can do. So looking at time saving, helping you complete tasks more quickly. Second, it's then also improving the quality of your work that you are delivering. Third, we see that making boring or repetitive tasks and automating them, making them much more faster and more easily is also a very common outcome of using AI at work, and then reducing or helping you be more creative, helping you come up with better ideas and more ideas at a bulk. And then lastly, what we also see, which is a very interesting one, is that work avoidance, what we call it. So really reducing your workload, or you can also see it that you're avoiding those repetitive tasks, again, that you don't want to do yourself. We have come up with a list of 10 for making sure that this is really consumable. I've only ranked the first 5 ones, but some of the ones that are also mentioned in here is that helping you collaborate or communicate better with people at work. And this is also something we have acknowledged, and you will see this later on embedded throughout our SuccessFactors AI capabilities.
That's great. And I would say, you know, I certainly recognize all of the things you're saying there. And I would like to say on my part, the work avoidance bit isn't about avoiding work in general. It's about focus and making sure that you're spending your time on the most valuable tasks. What can you tell us about AI features specifically in SuccessFactors?
That's a great question. So there's really 2 parts of how you can divide up, in a way, the SuccessFactors AI strategy. I'll start with Joule first, but later on during our demo, you will see the other cool use cases as well. So I would like you to meet Joule, and we say Joule is really the copilot that truly understands your business and, more importantly, your business processes. So if you think about your digital bestie that you could just talk to whenever you have a question in the SAP environment, and then also in the SuccessFactors environment, that's Joule. So today you can already converse with Joule to retrieve information, navigate across different SAP and actually also non-SAP applications, and of course, do transactions such as creating job requisitions in natural language. We're already adding a 4th type of what you can do with Joule, and this is going to be analytical interactions, both in web as well as on our mobile, by bringing Joule into our SAP SuccessFactors mobile application and also SAP Start for wider SAP transactions. But this is really going to show you how in a universe where we have all our mobile phones in our pocket, probably have the ChatGPT app on there, you can also have the same experience with SuccessFactors and with Joule. A couple of other things I would like to point out here is that we have what we call document grounding in Joule, which really allows you to bring all your unstructured documents, for example, from SharePoint, Google Workspace, and more into Joule. And this is then where your colleagues, your employees can ask questions based on your FAQs, based on your company data, and reducing really ambiguity, and then also building trust by receiving the information everyone needs at hand, and also helping you reduce tickets, for example. Maybe also something to mention here, it's going to be around all data centers around the globe, wherever you are. So this is really now available for everyone. And with that, we have also done a couple of research now, and really wanted to understand what is the impact that Joule is having on employees today. We have a lot of customers already on their AI journey, so it was really great to work together with them and to get these insights. So what we're saying today with Joule is that it's taking away a lot of the boring and repetitive tasks. So 43% of all employees specifically called that out. And then another 29% highlight that it simply saves them time. And then 14% said that it improves their own AI skills and knowledge. But the real headline here is this: employees using Joule report a 59% reduction in time they spend on HR tasks. That's really not just efficiency, but it's also giving back people those valuable hours in their weeks that they need to focus on more meaningful work. Now, time saving is important, but what's equally powerful is how employees feel about using Joule. I think when it comes to me, being part of the Gen Z generation, everything is about experience. And that's also what is important to your organizations moving forward, to make sure that you're staying up to date, to make sure that you're attracting the new talent that comes into the workforce. So the top emotions that are associated with Joule are optimistic, excited, and satisfied. That's a big deal because adoption just doesn't come from efficiency gains. It comes from people who are actually wanting to use the tool. And it's not just yet another tool that people have to use. So here's something really telling us here. Employees even said that they'd rather have Joule than some very tangible perks. So 20% would trade a free lunch or even an extra vacation day to keep Joule, which is something really cool to hear. And another 15% would give up free transportation. That really shows us that Joule isn't just a nice to have, but it's becoming essential to people how want to work. And finally, let me just quickly zoom out to the broader impact we see with using Joule. Nearly half of employees say that they have now understood how AI can help them at work. So it's building digital confidence. I think everyone has probably tried out creating a cool song with a cat singing for you with AI or planning your vacations, which I think are all super, super fun things to do. And even in your personal life, AI is probably adding a lot of value. But if you think about it in your business context, those are sometimes very much harder to uncover. But we see here that 57% of all employees feel like their company genuinely cares about making work life easier by giving them tools like Joule. So net, I would say the value of Joule isn't just in productivity, but it's also in building trust, engagement, and the kind of employee experience that makes people feel valued and supported.
Thank you very much, Franka. That's really interesting. I love some of those stats, although of course we all know there's no such thing as a free lunch. So how is AI being embedded in the talent life cycle?
That's a really good question. And I think when we look at where we have infused AI in our overall SuccessFactors suite, it's really also in talent management where we see the most progression and the coolest innovations of what we can deliver to our customers. So if I quickly give you a little bit of a structure to show you how we are embedding the use cases, is that AI is really delivering the outcomes HR leaders are looking for. And with AI in our talent solutions, we're actually enabling organizations to work faster, smarter, and more differently. So let's think about it. We can enable smarter hiring and talent matching. So AI analyzes skills and matches candidates to roles more accurately, suggesting personalized job recommendations for internal mobility, but then also generative AI for creating job descriptions. Within our skills foundation, our talent intelligence hub, AI has the opportunities to help you create a skills architecture, which is a task that's very hard today for organizations to create, but then also making sure you're creating your own skills libraries much faster than what you have today. If we look at working smarter, this is really something that we have had for a long time, but we're bringing it to another level. So we think about intelligent learning recommendations. This is really a functionality where we're suggesting personalized learning programs based on the employee's role, their skills, their career aspirations, and also their performance of where they are today. This is again enhancing the overall employee engagement and supporting continuous development because of making sure that what you are receiving within SuccessFactors is specifically tailored for you. On the other hand, it's also helping you from an organizational perspective, looking at a skill gap analysis. So AI is helping you identify skills gaps within your teams, and then also recommending specific training or development activities to bridge those gaps. And if we think about how AI is helping us work differently, I would like to revert back to Joule. So automating tasks, delivering smart insights, and enhancing decision-making. Joule is really helping organizations being more efficiently and make more informed data-driven decisions that support business goals and also employee growth. There are many ways to experience the value across the talent and learning lifecycle. I already mentioned a couple of those, but I think what's really interesting here to bring up again is that from the moment we are going to attract top talent, we are using AI to streamline activities, infusing AI to help us set better goals. When we're looking at career development, which is sometimes very intransparent and it's hard for us to look for opportunities within organizations, we're also putting AI to work there, and then also making sure that we are really unlocking employees' potential with this as well. All of this is, of course, just a snapshot into our talent and learning lifecycle. We have a lot more capabilities within our whole SuccessFactors suite. In case you're interested, we're more than happy to share a little bit of an overview on that later on as well. But I think nothing says what the real impact is than hearing it from a customer. And before I jump into the demo to show you some of the things, I wanted to talk to you about one of our customers who has really embraced the AI journey they're on and have learned how smarter, faster, and the different mindset, bringing it together with AI, has changed their overall organization. And that is Jerusalem Assets. They really started off by needing a smarter way to handle recruiting. They had such diverse hiring needs. Finding and onboarding the right talent was really, really a challenge. And to solve this problem, they used AI-powered automation, which helps streamlining their recruitment process, making hiring 4 times more efficient and cutting recruitment time by 75%. Now HR teams can quickly access talent pool data and generate reports across all their companies, ensuring they bring in the best people faster and more efficiently. It's a perfect example of how AI isn't just making recruiting easier, but it's making it smarter and more strategic.
That's great. And those are some really impressive quotes and statistics there. But I think most people, for them, it really comes alive when we look at some of the use cases. So perhaps you can show us some of those in the system, Franka.
Yes, super happy to kick off with that. And let me just switch into our demo system here.
I think one of the challenges that I find in the modern working world is the multi-channel challenge. So often the problem isn't that information doesn't exist; it's finding it, it's accessing it, and finding the right content. So how can AI help us navigate and retrieve the information we're looking for?
You're right, Howard. This is really an issue that we're seeing across all customers from all sizes, is how do you get the information and then also in the moment where you really need it. I think if we think about ourselves, Howard, you are even longer in the SAP space than myself, but I would say we're pretty good experts of SuccessFactors. If someone tells us, go to recruiting, find out someone's address in the people profile, it wouldn't take us longer than a couple of seconds to do these tasks. But if you think about our customers and if you think about then the employees of our customers, whenever they need to do quick changes, whenever they need to update something, they're not doing that on a regular basis. So whenever it comes to those moments that you have to do something, you might be struggling and thinking, oh, how was this the last time I had to change this and this information? And this is really where we're seeing Joule helping us, being a heavy lift and shift when it comes to doing those quick tasks. But let's jump into this demo now. And we're starting off here on our SuccessFactors homepage. We're greeted with a kind good morning. As a manager, as Jeff, we have a couple of things that are important to him. We see a couple of approvals he has to look at, some organizational updates, and in general, everything that is important to him is to be found on the homepage. What we can also here find now on the homepage is Joule. And as said, Joule is really that digital bestie that Jeff needs in the SAP world and specifically in SuccessFactors. So we can start off by asking Joule just some quick questions, because maybe we just had to book a travel and we had to make sure that we have our cost center that, to make sure we can book everything correctly. And actually looking for your cost center to look that up, and this is the most used task within SuccessFactors. So pretty sure that this was one of the first ones that we should show in here as well. So we're just looking for a piece of information and we're getting that within a couple of seconds from Joule. So Joule is telling us exactly what it is that we need to put in to book our travels. Next on is, as a manager, it's pretty nice to know your team's birthdays. And I could now navigate to all different people profiles, pull out the data. I could run a report to make sure I get everything. Or I could just ask Joule, and Joule is giving me a full list of all my employees and putting out their birthdays as well. So these are some of the informational use cases that we see together with Joule here.
That's great, and it's really useful to be able to pull that data so quickly and in an easily accessible style rather than necessarily in a report, because you don't necessarily want information written in reports. So we've seen Joule make us work faster. How can we work smarter with AI? So I know in compensation, for example, managers often find compensation discussions with employees quite nerve-wracking. It's important that they're well managed and they use the right language. Obviously, they need to be based on the right facts, and they need to support equality and fair pay. How can AI and SuccessFactors help managers with that task?
This is actually one of my favorite use cases as well, because if I would imagine to be a first-time manager and I would have to prepare for a salary discussion, my nerves would be blank. I would be not sleeping for days. So I think it's really cool to see that I can now ask Joule, how can I prepare for a salary discussion? And what's about to happen here is that whenever you think about, again, these processes and these discussions, this is something that is happening annually. So you're not doing that on a regular basis. And when you're hit with that data, it can be pretty overwhelming. And as mentioned, as a first-time manager, sometimes we're not giving or we simply don't have time to provide our managers with the necessary training that they need to have these kind of discussions. So we have everything we need, again, within SuccessFactors, all the compensation data we have to know about someone. But what is that data really telling us? And what we're going to see here now is how we can use AI to generate insights about how to handle these conversations. So as mentioned, you see here all the compensation information. And to be honest, I'm not a compensation expert. Half of this doesn't tell me a lot as well. But if I'm about to have a salary discussion with someone, I want to make sure I understand the data that is in front of me and I can make good decisions here as well. So you see here we have the little stars, and we can now generate compensation insights. And what is happening here is that we are taking all the data that is available in SuccessFactors today, like compensation history, one-time payments like bonuses, looking at job progression, looking at feedback that that person has been receiving, what are some of the projects that person has been on, all put together into one place. And here comes the key, in natural language. So without using maybe some of those terms that you might not be familiar with, but rather giving it to you in an easy, digestible way, and even suggesting you some talking points of what you can talk about when having those salary discussions in here as well. Two things I would like to mention here, which are really, really important to showcase, is that, again, you have all the necessary data that is being pulled together into those insights coming from SuccessFactors. So whenever you feel like you want to double check something or make sure that you're understanding what's behind it, you can always go back to the data. And then also what you're seeing here is that you're not getting any suggestions on how much you should maybe increase the salary, but it's more like giving you that guidance, acting as a coach in this to have those conversations to lift some of that anxiety managers might be having.
That's great. I think that's really powerful stuff. You talked earlier about AI helping us work differently and more transparently. Are you able to give us a use case for that?
Of course, and I think I already teased it on when it comes to career progression and how we are doing career development in organizations can be a little intransparent at times. And part of going away from this and making sure we are democratizing access to all different kind of roles and aspirations people have in organizations, we have introduced a couple of cool AI capabilities in our growth portfolio as well. So let me start by giving you a little bit of an insight into what the growth portfolio is. And the growth portfolio really is a little bit of a snapshot of who you are as a person. What are some of the skills that you have have acquired over time that maybe are coming to you, being as recommended to you based on your SuccessFactors activities, for example. So think about whenever you're receiving feedback, how does that feed into your skills journey and into your development journey? What are some of the skills that you're maybe passionate about, and what do you want to show the organization that you are passionate about? These are some of the things you can put together in the growth portfolio. What you can also see here is your career development. So we can actually see that Jeff has been in the role of a product director for a really long time now, and he's starting to look at what are some of the other opportunities he can have a look at. And he has chosen VP Operations as his target role. So I think that's always a good start, and you can think about where do you want to grow. But how do you actually get there? Who are some of the people that maybe you should be connecting with? What is the guidance? And again, giving you those insights into what is the coaching behind getting to the next step? What are some of the skills you should be focusing on based on where you are today versus where you want to be in the future is what you can see here. So we can see here that we have 3 areas of improvement for Jeff, and that is leadership and collaboration, strategic thinking, and operational excellence. These are skills which have been identified that really a VP of operation needs to have. And these are some of the ones that Jeff needs to be working on as well. But besides giving you those skills, it's also telling you what you should be doing, who are some of the people you can be connecting with, possibilities for mentoring. So like an operations manager, you can be reaching out with what are some of the learnings you can take, some of the keywords to look out for is what you can put together here.
That's great. That's I think that again, I think that's really valuable. I think, you know, Zalaris and working with our customers, one of the things that I know is particularly difficult, perhaps only second to getting people to complete regular timesheets, because no one likes completing a timesheet. I think one of the biggest challenges is getting managers to write goals for their team members, and making sure that those goals are truly smart. In particular, the importance of making them specific to the individual, to their talents, to their aspirations and their development requirements, rather than just writing an objective or a goal that is applicable to everyone in the team, because often that doesn't really work. So I'm really interested to see how AI can help us with the goal creation.
I think this is such a true use case. Whenever I thought about or doing my goals in the past, it all felt very disconnected from myself and not telling me, so what is it actually that I should be doing? So it was in the past maybe much more a tick in the box that you do in the beginning of the year. But with now infusing AI and then also using those AI-powered insights as a first instance, and then looking at what is it now that I could be adding to my goal plan and focusing on, it's really giving us that next step. So let's have a look at how this looks like. And what we can see here is that we're actually already getting a prompt of what we could be focusing on. And we are now letting just AI do the work, putting it together. So we started out with a basic prompt, but we get here now a proper goal. We see a measure of success. So telling us, what do I need to do to achieve this goal? And if we might not even be happy with the goal that we have today, we also have those ChatGPT-like experiences and features within the SuccessFactors solution in here as well. So everything from enhancing your goal, making it shorter, making it longer, that is possible from within SuccessFactors. And something to note here as well is that this is not only happening within goal creation, but also infused in a lot of other places within our solution. So if you think about giving feedback to someone, that is one of the use cases where we see a lot of managers, for example, struggling as well. And what we see happening, or what might be happening today, is that people turn to ChatGPT to use as their coach and as their mentor. But do you really want to be sharing, maybe a secret project that you've been working on, something that is to do with very sensitive employee data outside in the world, versus when you can have those features within SuccessFactors as well? So that's definitely a feature to look out for as well.
That's a thing again. I think that's really powerful, because I think we've moved from, I mean, there've been tools in SuccessFactors to help to a certain extent for a long time, but we've now moved from sort of more of a compliance checking only, checking that the language in the goal is appropriate, to some intelligent authoring, which I think is a much greater benefit to managers in this process.
Exactly. And maybe I can just add to that. I think if we have more intelligent goals and intelligent feedback, it's really helping us develop our people into the direction that they need to be developed in, and not just giving them some standard generic feedback as well.
Absolutely agree. Yeah. How can we help managers with the challenge of then running the performance reviews to look at those goals that have been previously set?
That's a really good question as well. And I think that's also, again, linking back to what we have seen previously in the compensation insights or in a salary discussion. A performance review can be as equally challenging and nerve-wracking for managers as well. So much happens over the course of a year, and there's so many different data points that you have received. Someone has left some feedback, maybe on email, someone has left some feedback within SuccessFactors, for example, and you're trying to consolidate that, as well as looking at, okay, what has the person done for projects, and kind of bringing that together. What we have done here as well, and we're now looking at JADA and looking at the manager assessment that we are about to do, is that similarly to the compensation insights and to the career insights that you have seen, we have also put in here some some performance review insights. So this is also our newly designed performance review form that you can see. It's has undergone a refresh of how it looks like from a UX perspective. But what you see here on top, and this is also, again, where we want to lead everyone to kind of like do this as a first step before you're going into the different ratings that you have to do, is getting those insights. So what you're going to see here now is, again, getting a summary of Jada. What has she done? What are some of the strengths, notable achievements that you can view in here as well? But what are some of the areas for improvement and the actions that need to be done? So you can see here what are some of the things that happened over the course of a year. You don't have to go back to every single one-to-one or continuous performance check-in that you had with Jada, but rather pulling in all those informations into one place here. And what's also, again, really nice to see in here is that as a manager, you can then help generate a goal for Jada based on the areas of improvement, making sure you're really, again, personalizing the goals and targeting to what's important for Jada as well. And again, helping you with that discussion. So giving you some talking points and guiding you and coaching you into that direction of what's happening as well.
That's great. Thank you very much. So I'm afraid I have some audience questions for you now, Franka. First question is, what's the process for gaining access to the AI features within SuccessFactors?
So what I would recommend is that talk to your Zalaris partners, to everyone that you've been in contact with on the side of Zalaris or in SuccessFactors. We want to make sure that we're helping you get on this AI journey as quick and as possible as we can. So it makes the most sense to sit down with the both of us on the Zalaris side and on the SuccessFactors side to get this started. A lot of the features that you have seen are embedded into SuccessFactors already, so they come at a no cost contract, as we say it. So there is you can get started for free. Basically today there's just a little bit of a contract that you have to go through, but on a commercial side you can use a lot of the AI functionalities for free. For some of the other ones, there is a little bit of a commercial impact that is about to happen, but something much more boring that our sales colleagues can have in those conversations. But really, we're encouraging all our customers to get started on that journey. So it is very, very cost efficient to get started as well.
Yeah, and I think the power only reveals itself in the usage, doesn't it, often? So how are the AI capabilities in SuccessFactors maintained and updated, and how often does that occur?
So as mentioned, we have a lot of the features, and as you've seen, they are embedded into our solution. What is really the strategy also that we're following here is that we want to make sure we're infusing AI where it makes sense and not just embedding AI now for the sake of AI, just because it's happening as a trend and as a hype. But you will see it's going to affect a lot of our processes, some of them which you can look at from a UX perspective, but then also just maybe sometimes where there is a gap for adoption to make it easier. This is where you can see those use cases. And how this really happens is that for our AI and specifically for our Joule use cases, we're oftentimes operating on a monthly release schedule. So in SuccessFactors, we have our 2 major releases, which are happening in May and the now upcoming one in November. But for AI, we're moving much faster, and we want to deliver innovation much faster to our customers.
That's great. Is there a published release strategy for that?
Yes, I'll make sure to add that as well, and we can share that with our customers afterwards.
Lovely, thank you very much. What about customer success stories showing how organizations have benefited from adopting AI?
I think what really shows that it's proving its value is that we have a couple of really cool stories, like FC Bayern München using AI for recruiting as well. We have Standard Chartered who are actually doing the goal creation and giving feedback on a larger scale, and also showing that they're really successful. But then also when we look at the skills space, like Delta Airlines, they're also working a lot with those AI innovations. So it's really proving itself. And what I would recommend is for everyone to join our virtual Success Connect. Also join us in person in Las Vegas. But here we're really going to dive deeper into what are some of the customer success stories that we have with AI today.
Fantastic, good. And the last question, which I particularly like because we work with a lot of multinational organizations, which languages does AI cover?
So for the embedded use cases that you have seen, like the generating insights, the goal creation, that all works in your system language that you are working with SuccessFactors today. So if you are using SuccessFactors in Swedish today, all those AI use cases are going to be working in Swedish as well. If we talk about Joule, it's a little bit different, but we have a large and extensive roadmap to cover also all of our system languages. Today, Joule is available in 10 languages. We'll also make sure to add a list of that as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, it's been great to see the growing power of AI and SuccessFactors, and in particular to look at some of the use cases that are supporting employees and managers in their jobs. Of course, as you just described, part of the beauty of SuccessFactors is that those capabilities are constantly growing and developing and being made available to customers on a monthly basis, which is fantastic. So I'd just like to close by thanking everyone who's joined us today or who's watching on catch up. And obviously, especially thanks to you, Franka, for providing such great insight into AI and SuccessFactors and the benefits it can offer organizations.
Thank you so much for having me.